Hello friends, welcome to another episode of Fun Time Learning. In this lesson, we will learn the fifth part of Unit 5, Helping Hands. So we can begin with this beautiful story called A Glass of Milk. ഇന്നത്തെ ക്ലാസ്സിൽ നമ്മൾ തുടങ്ങുന്നത് എ ഗ്ലാസ് ഓഫ് മിൽക്ക് എന്ന ഒരു പാഠഭാഗത്തിലൂടെയാണ്. Has any stranger ever approached you for help? How did you treat him or her? Here you will find a young woman's experience when a stranger approaches her for some water. Here the story begins. One day, a poor boy was selling goods from door to door to pay his way through school. It was a hot day and he felt tired and hungry. He had only one thin dime left with him. He decided not to ask for a meal at the next house. However, he lost his nerve when a lovely young woman opened the door. Here you should notice one thing, that at the bottom of the screen you can see a Malayalam translation of the story. You can also see some highlighted words on the English version and the Malayalam version. Here tired, it is also highlighted here in red letters, kshinam. Hungry is highlighted here, vishap. So you can easily find out the meaning of the new vocabulary words from the description. Instead of a meal, he asked for some water. She thought he looked hungry and so bought him a large glass of milk. He drank it slowly and then asked, "How much do I owe you?" "You don't owe anything," she replied. "Mother has taught us never to accept pay for acts of kindness." He said, "Then I thank you from my heart." As Howard Kelly left the house, he not only felt stronger physically, but his faith in God and man was also strengthened. He had decided to give up and quit. Years later, that woman became old and critically ill with an unknown disease. The local doctors were baffled. They finally sent her to the big city, where they called in specialists to study the rare disease. Dr. Howard Kelly was called in for the consultation. When he realized her and the town she came from, a strange light filled his eyes. Immediately, he rose and went down the hall of the hospital to her room. Dressed in his doctor's gown, he went in to see her. He recognized her at once. He went back to the consultation room, determined to do his best to save her life. From that day, he gave special attention to the case. After a long struggle, the battle was won. Dr. Kelly requested the business office to pass the bill to him for approval. He looked at it, then wrote something on the edge, and the bill was sent to her room. She feared to open it, for she was sure it would take the rest of her life to pay for it all. Finally, she looked at it, and something caught her attention on the side of the bill. She read the words, "Paid in full with 1 glass of milk. Signature, Dr. Howard Kelly." Tears of joy flooded her eyes as her happy heart prayed, "Thank you, God, that your love is shed abroad through our hearts and hands." Here, the first activity. The events of the story, a glass of milk, are given in a jumbled order. Arrange them in the proper sequence. The first event here is she read the words written on the bill. It's very clear that this is not the first event of our story. കഥയുടെ ആദ്യത്തെ സംഭവം ഇതല്ല എന്ന് നമുക്കറിയാം. So which out of this is the first event of our story? It's very clear that it is the red one. The first event, the boy was selling goods from door to door. Which one is the second event? This is one. The young woman gave a glass of milk to the boy. Third one, the woman was admitted in a hospital. This is the fourth one. Dr. Howard paid the bill. 5, she read the words written on the bill. And finally, this is the sixth one. Tears of joy flooded her eyes. Here is a puzzle for you. This is connected to our story, A Glass of Milk. In the story, Dr. Howard Kelly works in a hospital. Have you ever visited a hospital? Complete the following word grid using the words related to hospital. Some clues are given on the left side. With the help of these clues, we will be able to fill the grid. Let's begin with first one. A substance or liquid that you drink or swallow to cure an illness. രോഗം ഭേദമാക്കാനായി നിങ്ങൾ കുടിക്കുകയോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ വിഴുങ്ങുകയോ ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു വസ്തു അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ദ്രാവകം ഏതാണ് എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. This is the first clue, and on the right side in the grid we can see that this word begins with the letter M, and it contains the third letter of this word is D, downwards. Here M blank D, and we have some more letters there. So which word corresponds to this clue given here? നമ്മൾ രോഗം മാറാനായി കുടിക്കുകയോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ വിഴുങ്ങുകയോ ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു വസ്തു അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ദ്രാവകം എന്നുള്ളത്. Here is the answer. This is the second letter. So we have 3 letters here. MED, med. Can you guess the remaining letters here? MED, I, medi. C, medicine. So the answer is medicine. So now you have understood how to find out these clues and fill the grid. So I'll be providing you more clues here. I will also give you some visual clues here, not written ones, by the help of which you will be able to fill this. Let's find out what the second one is. Small round pieces of medicine that you swallow without chewing. വിഴുങ്ങുന്ന ചവയ്ക്കാതെ വിഴുങ്ങുന്നത്. So here is what it is. And this another clue that I want to give you is that this begins with the letter P. Usually we call this tablets. ഗുളികകളെ നമ്മൾ സാധാരണയായി tablets എന്നാണ് പറയാറുള്ളത്. പക്ഷേ ഇവിടെ നമുക്ക് പിയിൽ തുടങ്ങുന്ന ഒരു വാക്കാണ് ആവശ്യം. PI blank blank S. That is how the word is spelled. Try to find out what the word is. Second one, a tube with a long needle that is used to inject drug into a person's body or to take a small amount of blood from a person. It begins with the letter S and it contains the letter N in it. And here it is. I'm terrified simply by looking at it. ഒരു പേടിപ്പെടുന്ന ഒരു സാധനമാണിത്. ഇതിൻ്റെ പേരെന്താണ്? It begins with the letter S. You know what the remaining letters are. And let's go to the next one. Treatment of injuries by cutting the body open using instruments. Cutting the body open. ശരീരം തുറക്കുന്നു, മുറിച്ച് തുറക്കുന്നു. So here is an illustration of what the procedure is. We know that it's a word which begins with the letter S. നമ്മൾ ഓപ്പറേഷൻ എന്ന് പറയാറുണ്ട്, പക്ഷേ അതിൻ്റെ ശരിയായ പേര് മറ്റൊന്നാണ്. You find out what it is. A separate area in a hospital for the people with the same type of medical condition. This is a word which begins with the letter W. So WA are the first 2 letters. Find out what the word is. A person who takes care of a sick or injured people in a hospital. Here is an illustration of who that person is. ആശുപത്രിയിൽ രോഗികളെ ശുശ്രൂഷിക്കുന്നയാളിന് പറയുന്ന പേരെന്താണെന്നുള്ളതാണ്. begins with the letter N. It's very clear. അത് വളരെ വ്യക്തമാണ്. എന്നിൽ തുടങ്ങുന്ന എസ് എന്ന അക്ഷരമുള്ള ഒരു വാക്ക് എന്താണെന്ന് ആലോചിക്കുക. I will also give you one more clue. And U is the second letter, N. So it begins like that. A person who receives medical treatment in a hospital. സ്വീകരിക്കുന്നയാൾ, അതായത് ട്രീറ്റ്മെൻറ്റ് സ്വീകരിക്കുന്ന ആളിനെ എന്താണ് വിളിക്കുക? ആശുപത്രിയിൽ ചികിത്സ നേടുന്നയാളിനെ എന്താണ് വിളിക്കുക? Find out what it is. It begins with the letter P and it contains the letter E. That is all for today's class. So next class will be our final class. We will be answering some of the questions from our previous years. So that is all for today's class. Please feel free to comment below or call to the given number if you have any doubts. Stay safe. Thank you for watching.